Yes, you're seeing it correctly. This is the Sonic Advance 1 decompilation, which means, hey, we got some widescreen, and this is going to be a showcase of it. But before we get started, firstly, want to give a huge shout out to, of course, Jay Sear, Fresh Ollie, also Bitten2Up, and Luna Alex 64 for helping out Jason Fresh Ollie on this. Sonic Advance 2 and Sonic Advance 1 share a lot of the same code, so with Sonic Advance 2, the Sonic Advance 2 decomp being where it is, sitting at a good old 93% matching functions, I believe Jace has mainly spearheaded getting Sonic Advance 1 fully decompiled, and it is 100% decompiled. However, it is not 100% matching, which means that some things in the game are not going to look the way they seem when you build the PC port. As you can see, we got the ocean flickering at the bottom there. You can see it in the bottom left. We got the skybox not properly wrapping and stuff like that. And that is because we have a 77, I want to say. We are at 77% matching functions. When a decompilation is at 100% decompiled, that just means that whatever the original game's code was in, which for the advanced games it was assembly, that just means that all of the code has been transferred to C, which is what they're using to code the decompilation now. However, matching functions is really important because they need to get all of the things that worked in assembly to work in C properly. So if you have any experience with assembly code and matching functions and stuff, I'll leave a link down in the description to their Discord server. You can help with Sonic Advance 1, Advance 2. Advance 3 is a whole nother beast that has, obviously because of the team mechanic and stuff, a bunch of its own thing going on. So that's like really, really ways off. But the reason I say all of this is because if you remember when I first showed off Sonic Advance 2, this will probably be in the same playlist as that one, so you can check out that playlist. It had a lot of visual issues, and that was at 92% matching when I first showcased it. And 92% matching in terms of a decompilation is similar to like having level 92 in woodcutting in old school RuneScape. You're actually halfway to level 99. You're not 7 levels away or whatever. Same thing here. That was 92%. This is 77%. So, what I'm going to say here is that there is an epilepsy game contains flashing lights. This will be up the entire time because this, at minimum, is just a showcase of this. I'm going to try to play with a bunch of characters, but I've been yapping for 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and get started playing a little Sonic Advance 1. This is just a showcase, so if you are sensitive to flashing lights, I recommend turning some lights on if you're watching this. Don't watch it on a big screen, and you can just check things out. So, as you can see, it's just Advance 1. Advance 1's pretty cool. I have a lot of memories playing through, like, Neo Green Hill Zone and Secret Base, and honestly, that's kind of it. So, I did play Advance 1 on the channel a long time ago. I did, like, a full Advance series playthrough, and Advance 1 is fine. I think it, like, kind of drops off, figuratively and literally, when we get to, like, Egg Rocket, which is the final zone in the game. I won't be showing off the Final Zone and X Zone because they are really broken. So that'll come at a later point, but you're glad they changed the running animation? I actually really like Sonic's running animation in this. Yo, what's up, Malik? How's it going? What's up, Arik? Good to see you. Search up Halo Reach. Oh, that's pretty cool. I did like Halo Reach a lot when I was younger, so cool to see that it's getting more content, I guess, or mod or whatever it is. I do want to say, though, as a final, like, warning, Mega, Ultra, Giga flashing light warning when we get to the bosses. It's gonna hurt. Even if you're not sensitive to flashing lights, it's going to hurt. So, you know, be careful. Even when we go into time attack to play as the other characters, the bosses are still in time attack in this game, so you're not even safe there. So I highly recommend doing all those things. Yo, happy birthday, Pedrooks! Let's go, bro. Hope you had yourself a wonderful day of birth, and thanks for spending some of it here, man. I appreciate it. All right, last warning before we get to the boss. It's bad. It is bad. Here we go. Also, hi, Tails. Unless Jace did something, because transparency, this is my second time showcasing this at the moment. Oh? Oh my goodness, this is significantly better than it was before. So shout out to Jace. Also, a lot of things, even though we can't see the hammer and stuff, the hammer is still there. So I guess this is like hard mode. Oh my goodness. I don't have footage of the original boss anymore, but I'm glad the bosses are way, way more toned down. Holy crap. Huge progress there. All we need now is a menu to be able to switch characters or just adding the time attack menu and we're set to go. Alrighty, cool. Well, that wasn't nearly as bad as I was expecting it to be, which is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and switch characters and I will see you for Secret Base. Little bit late on that. All right, we are now in time attack, and I do want to stress that I am a total noob, and I'm probably going to die a lot, and in time attack, checkpoints don't mean anything, even if you grab them. You have to completely restart if you get a checkpoint. So I'm going to do my best to not die, but I can't say that there's much hope for later on. Oh, hey, shields render now. That's cool. Back when I first showcased this, just like Eggman's hammer, it was there, but it didn't properly render, so it's cool to see it now. Advance 3 is your favorite Sonic game? Hey, nice, man. I'm glad you enjoy it. Would widescreen make a lot of its issues more digestible? I suppose. Like, I think, obviously, widescreen just benefits 2D Sonic in general, because that's the main complaint, is you can't see where you're going in 2D Sonic. Now, personally, while I think that that's literally, like, part of the design, and while I agree with, like, Pariah popularizing the idea of passivity traps, at least popularized to me, that, like, you don't need to memorize the level design. Like, the level design is made in a way that you can kind of predict things. And while the Advance series is a bit more wishy-washy with that, like, I know specifically he had a lot of trouble with Advance 2 in that regard. We can see how the loop is going here. You can just see the sign spinning over and over again. Also, awesome menus. Go ahead and play some Act 2. Your heating broke. Oh, damn. Well, I hope it's a warm day for you. Yeah, so I think that'll benefit for Advance 3. The problems I have with Advance 3 are a lot more fundamental, though. That I don't think widescreen will fix. Widescreen will definitely be a benefit, but I can't say that I'm an Advance 3 lover. Speedrun 3D Blast with the worst possible controller imaginable? No thanks. You're not a fan of level design? No. I don't like level design at all. Do. I don't like that you need a specific team in some levels to make them fun. And there are some levels that are just not fun with any team. And with 20 team combinations, you're naturally going to have levels, like team combos, that are better or worse, because it's just hard to make, like, 20 good team combinations. But, yeah. Like, Chaos Angel 3, I think, the one with the floating platform. Nah, that level sucks no matter who you are. What's up, Zen? How's it going? 5th time's the charm, true. Hello. It's nice to actually see you now, Dr. Eggman, rather than you flying all over the screen. Yeah. The thing that really sucks is it's just so telling what kind of game Advance 3 tries to be a lot of the time when Act 1 of Route 99 has a crush trap. A really, really, like, mean crush trap, too. Advance 3 got an online co-op mode? Did it not, like, already sort of have that? It'd be sort of neat. It kind of be like Sonic 4 Episode 2 co-op, though. Except you just have separate screens, but like with the tethering and stuff. But yeah, I've talked about it a lot with Sonic Advance. We'll use Amy for the Casino Paradise, I think this is called. Yeah, Casino Paradise here. What bugs me about Advance 3 is that I don't think that Advance 3 is a good game without the team gimmick. And I would prefer, like, if all of the levels were fun to run through with, like, Sonic and Tails. Because Sonic and Tails is about as, like, milquetoast of a combo as you can get in that game. And I wish that, like, fundamentally, all the levels could be, like, fun to blitz through with that team combo, and then the other combos, like, add a different strategy to it. But that's not the case. Some levels suck with Sonic and Tails, like Ocean Base 1. That level's, like, only good with Knuckles Amy. And when you play through Advance 3 for the first time, you don't get Amy until after Ocean Base, which sucks. And Knuckles and Amy are only great because of Wall Spin Dash. But someone had to give it to him, I guess. Oh my goodness, there's the zipping. Ocean Base's speedrun is actually Sonic Tails? Oh, interesting. I thought it'd be Knuckles Amy. Yeah, Wall Spin Dash is the coolest thing ever, and I wish Knuckles just had it naturally. Well, Ocean Base 2 then. Whoop. Very claustrophobic inducing, yeah. Yeah, that probably would have made it really cool for his moveset, considering that Mania doesn't have, like, that good of a Knuckles playthrough, I don't think. What, I guess to make it more clear, with Advance 3, it's not that I don't think the game can be fun when you eventually get good at it. It's that I think it requires too much from the player and too much experimentation to just have a decent time. Because whether or not Sonic and Tails are the speedrun duo for Ocean Base 2, speedrunning is a very small subset. And while the opinion on the speedrun is still important, it's just as important as people who are playing game for the first time. And I think that Advance 3 has a terrible first player experience. Especially with the crushing and bottomless pit stuff. Oh, I'm still Amy. I didn't even play... Oh my god, I didn't even play Casino Paradise 2! Yeah. I know it's a tall ask, but I wish that Advance 3 didn't rely on the team gimmick to be fun. I wish that the team gimmick just added to the experience. Which is why I hope one day I get to experience the team gimmick in Sonic Advance 2 and see if my opinion changes. Because I don't know, since the team gimmick's only in Advance 3. And with that, I completely understand that that's how it goes in Sonic games. That's what you do in Sonic games, especially nowadays. Is, you know, the big movement of like, hey, this series is actually cool, you just have to put time and effort into it, which is kind of a hilarious oxymoron in the age of constant distraction and and quickly moving on to the next thing. Oh, hello, Eggman. We seem to be in a small little area here. I'll be interested to see what happens here, because obviously, like, this is technically 1-to-1, but obviously things are going to have to be adjusted if they want to do widescreen. This wouldn't be a problem if we were playing the game in its native resolution, but because it's, I think, 4x, maybe it's 2x. I don't know what the scale difference is. This is just the default settings when building the PC port. You can actually change it to anything you want. But I do know that above this scale, it breaks, like, super hard. So, the recommended build setting is 4x, I think, or 2x. I think it's like 480p or something. I don't know. I'm just making up shit. See, I don't think that the team mechanic would feel tacked on, though, if it weren't, because... And the reason I say that is because the most similar thing I could think of that came before Advance 3 were the classic Sonic games, and I don't think that Tails and Knuckles were tacked on in, like, Sonic 3. They provided a different experience. That's why I think it's totally okay if, Advance 3 were just at its core, like, a strong Sonic game. And the team mechanic was, like... Oh, you think Tails and Knuckles are tacked on? Oh, interesting. I think there's plenty of reason for them to be there, but you can still play both of them like a Sonic campaign. That's what I like the most about Sonic games, is when the alternate characters play like Sonic, with a unique thing to make them stand out, which I know is the generic opinion, but it is my opinion. Really? I think that Tails and Knuckles are tacked on in Sonic 3? Interesting. I suppose Tails can feel more like that since his campaign is literally identical to Sonic's, but Knuckles certainly not. He goes through like a whole bunch of different areas and stuff like that. And like, even when the areas are the same, I still play it differently. But I think flying changes the game a lot. Oh, thank goodness Knuckles can swim. Ugh. Every non-hedgehog can swim, I guess. I don't know if Cream's able to swim on some team combo in Advance 3 or not. Yeah, Knuckles? See, Knuckles would be like DLC, if DLC existed back then, you know? Oh, I did that in the first playthrough, too. No! First death. Try again. Yeah, Jay's put in some work. Well, I guess the fun fact is that the previous issue of the platform zipping up was legitimately a different sign. Like, he put a negative sign where he needed to put a plus sign. I don't think in the case of, like, math, well, it is math, but, like, in the standard case of, like, you know, you're doing a word problem and you put a negative instead of a positive and got a different answer. But, like, I think the negative and plus denotes something different in this case. They had to design... expect them to play through the same stages. Yeah, but, you know, I don't think that, like, Tails, Knuckles feel unique from Sonic, though. And part of that has to do with the animations and stuff, too. I think that can go a long way. Okay, so to the folks that think they're tacked on in, like, Sonic 3, what do we think about the alternate characters in Advance 1 here? Because I think they're even more distinctive, with Sonic having the air dash and insta-shield, Tails having the tail swipe. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the flight cancel, but Knuckles being able to swim, punch, glide, climb, and then Amy being kind of the hard mode idea. Since Knuckles is no longer the hard mode. Knuckles is so good in this level. That's the hard thing I have with alternate characters, especially in the Adventure series, though, is, like, I want to play the Sonic game. I want to go point A to point B, and I want to go fast. And whether or not, I think I've talked about this before, is that, like, whether or not the alternate gameplay styles are good or not, to me, doesn't really matter. What matters is that I'm playing Sonic in the Sonic game. And, like, when I play Amy in Sonic Adventure, I don't feel like I'm playing a Sonic game. I will, at the very least, give the treasure hunting stages that, is that I still feel like I'm playing a Sonic game, even though I strongly dislike it. You fly over the level or you play like Sonic? Interesting. Like, I definitely, when I play as Tails, I find myself, like, flying over things that I wouldn't interact with Sonic, but I definitely take, like, different routes through the level when I play as Tails, because especially, like, the ability to start your flight earlier in the jump so you have more speed with your flight going upward, I think leads to some really fun routes. Like, Marble Garden 1 is one that I really enjoy with Tails. So I guess the flashing light warning wasn't really needed. I'm glad I put it there, though. Just in case. But this is, like... For 77% matching, like, this feels like Advance 2. Like Advance 2 was when I first played it. Like, this is perfectly playable so far. I guess we'll see what happens as we get later on in the game. I guess what doesn't help Tails is that because it's the same campaign as Sonic, it kind of inclines you to play it like Sonic. Because that's the same issue I have with, like, Sonic Heroes. It's like, why is Team Rose the easy mode? Everyone's gonna start with Team Sonic. Can I get out of the water, please? Wow, good job, Knuckles. No, we had to play the whole level again. Thanks for the alert, Cosmic. I appreciate it. Even though it's tacked on in a way I don't think... You're talking about Tails' flight? I think Tails' flight was pretty well thought out. With the alternate routes and a lot of the levels having, like, vertical wrapping, like Hydro City and Marble Garden and Ice Cap. If Tails had a flight cancel, it'd be a million times better. I do not disagree there. Which is why Tails is super fun in Sonic 3 Air. Only thing that's missing from 3 Complete is the flight. Is it missing from 3 Complete, actually? I don't remember. I'll have to watch my video on it on Stelmo 98. With Big Yuri Box 12. Yeah, the flight cancel would have been perfect to introduce here in Sonic Advance. Oh, we can take a Knuckles route. Maybe that's not a Knuckles route. That might just be a normal block U-break. Do 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 do. See, I remember Knuckles making this boss easy. I don't remember how to, like, attack while he's, like, swimming on top of the water, though. Oh, jeez. Here we go again. Oh, never mind. Oh, you can jump out of the water. Okay. I forgot you could do that. That ring would be really nice. Yeah, this is so good. Just being able to completely destroy this boss. No issues. I was made to fly around the stage. Oh, interesting. I don't think that would have been like an easy mode, though. She is unique that it makes her playthrough very different. Different isn't always good, though. Unless you're talking about Amy in Sonic Advance. Because I mean Amy in Adventure. I'm not saying you have to agree with that. I'm saying, like, how would you keep that within the same idea, though? Since that was kind of the whole point of giving Tails that move in the first place. Since he didn't have it in Sonic 2. Entirely different ways. Well, I think that's just a fundamental difference than what we want in Sonic games then. Because I would want every character to play like Sonic. I don't know if I'd say it's like that different. I do have to think about it more, and I think that Amy is has a fun moveset in Sonic Advance, but it's not like... I'm not like having brain blasts trying to figure out how to... Oh, I thought that was Bottomless Pit. In Advance 1, the Bottomless Pits don't really start until Egg Rocket, so... My opinion would be that I think it's overplayed that Amy engages with the stages entirely differently. She engages with them differently, but I don't think any more differently than, like, Tails or Knuckles do. In some way, every character other than Sonic can, like, skip things that Sonic has to go through, and that's what makes him different. But generally, Sonic has the speed tech, which is what makes him fun to play as. Like, in 3 and K, having the shield abilities is pretty insane. It's why whenever I play 3 Air at this point, I give everyone the shield abilities, but Sonic gets the drop dash. Since the drop dash is just, like, insanely awesome. Ugh. I forgot, does Insta-Shield remove Roll Lock in Sonic Advance? Oh, it seems to. Oh yeah, it does. Cool. At least, like, from my gameplay here, since I'm literally playing it right now, when I was playing in, like, Casino Paradise, I don't really think, like, her short hop is that different. Because especially in 2D Sonic, there's a lot of ways outside of the spin dash to maintain speed. And Sonic Advance, because, at least I imagine, because it's on a handheld, like the... Oh, that's not actually a platform there. It has a lot more condensed level design, so you don't really have to use the spin dash to, like, go along long slopes. Maybe in, like, Neo Green Hill Zone, but not, like, Casino Paradise or Angel Island here. Do I prefer bottomless pits or getting crushed? Neither. We'll play as Knuckles for this one, since it's a little mano-y-mano with the boss. Hopefully the boss works. She doesn't do it in the normal way, and that's great, but I'm not like, oh man, I wish I could spin dash here, you know? Like the... Ooh, nice. Like, it works just fine. But I would agree that the simple act of her not being able to do it is a nice difference. Yeah, mainly what I'm arguing is just, like, Amy is so good because she's so wildly different. That's the stance I'm arguing against. I don't know if I misinterpreted or not. But I don't think it's a problem for every character in, like, a 2D Sonic game to have spin jump, spin dash, and then some other ability. Bum, 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 bum. If it's someone like Mighty. Mighty is definitely an example of, like, not different enough, because his... He is also kind of easy mode, because he has, like, permanent elemental shield protection, I guess. I think it doesn't help that Mighty was a DLC character. So, like, yeah, you had Encore mode, but, like, everyone was already playing Mania with... Did I play Act 1 again? Is this Act 1? I don't think it is. Oh, that's right. We can't. Oh, rip. That's okay. We got through. I mean, we've played most of the game, so I can't really complain about that too much. Let's do Egg Rocket with Amy, and then I don't know. We'll do Cosmic Angel with Tails or something. Oh, hey, we got ring sounds now. In the previous build, we didn't have ring sounds. What's up, Caliber? How you doing? Sick spelling, by the way. See, I would say that Sonic Advance is probably my favorite aesthetic of 2D Sonic, but Mania exists, so... Caliber was taken, unfortunately. Hey, it made your spelling way cooler. And, like... Oh, shit. The first time I've seen Q without a U behind it, too. Without its buddy. I don't know if I should condense this into a rant video or not, because the whole video's kind of been a rant. So it'd just be uploading the same video twice, because I'd love to, like, do a rant-style video with our 2D moveset discussion, but I don't know, I guess we'll see. Yeah, background's looking a little, awkward. Happens. The decomp's not finished. This is a showcase of where it's at right now. God, if only Amy had a running hammer jump. She does have the hammer jump, but it's not, like, super amazing or anything. Woo, woo. I can't remember. She does have the hammer drop in this game. For some reason, I thought that was an Advanced 2 edition, but it is not. Ever played Sonic Advance or Mario Advance? Well, Mario Advance is just the SNES games. Again, Sonic Advance is new stuff. Well, new-ish, I guess. At least in Advance 1's case, it's very... This is probably, like, the true Sonic 4. What the e-reader was? This game did have e-reader stuff, didn't it? Oh, right. I don't know if that's meant to be an in or out. We might not be able to complete this level, because I think we have to take that. Yeah, I think we're hosed here. That's unfortunate. I wanted to beat it as Amy, but oh well. We'll just play as Sonic. I don't think we can play as Tails. We might not be able to beat this one either, because there's a lot of, like, gimmicks and stuff in this one. That, my guess, do not work yet, so... We'll play through as much as we can. Yeah, I get what you mean. That Amy does kind of the reverse, where she has a lot of options to get vertical distance, but you kind of have to figure out how to get the horizontal speed. Versus Sonic. Because really, like, Tails and Knuckles are just, yeah, those don't work. That doesn't surprise me. Sonic in Advance 1 or Sonic currently? Sonic in Advance 1. What would Sonic currently be? I guess Frontier Sonic? Well, Frontier Sonic can easily gain vertical height. Ugh. Thank goodness the ring system exists. Oh, it'll work with one button? Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because Amy's iteration in like Origins and Superstars isn't exactly amazing. She has a double jump. Double jumps are always great, but like the Hammer Rush isn't like, at the very least casually, like the Hammer Rush isn't like a notable ability, I don't think. Rip. Don't take my opinion seriously. I take your opinion as I take all other Sonic opinions. I appreciate that I don't feel like you're deliberately trying to start an argument with me and want to actually talk about stuff. I think that's a way more fun way to do it, personally. Because I've already seen... Can I grind? Does that work yet? Doesn't seem to, unless I'm doing the input wrong. Oh, I have to hold down. Okay. Ah. Okay, looks like we still have moving platform issues when we're on the side of the platforms. Okay. Nope. Oh, this is gravity. Yeah. I think it's just the case of, like, some folks just, like, want to come in guns a-blazing. You did, Cosmic. I don't know if we can complete you, though. I thought I was gonna get crushed there. Oh! I'll give it one more try. Well, if she didn't have the hammer spin, then the downward pogo would be cool. It's essentially like what you could do in the classic games with the Badnik bounce. You just have, like, easy access to it. What's up, Joe? This is the Sonic Advance 1 decomp. I'm showcasing it. I can't take that way. Yeah, most of the music is there, and we got the ring sound effects. Sonic Advance 1 decomp? Yes, sir. You would be correcto mundo. At this hour, at this location? Yes! Read 'em and weep. You're absolutely correct, sir. Do 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 do. Am I kind of hosed here? Is this not like a gravity change? Yeah, this looks like end of the line. Either that or I just don't know a route. So, this was the first showcase of the Sonic Advance 1 decomp. I look forward to following this project, and of course, I'll stay up to date with Sonic Advance 2. Again, just last time, check out the description. I'll probably post the Sonic Advance playlist there if you want to watch that stuff, and like the Sonic Advance 2 decomp showcases. I'll also be putting this one in there as well. Check out the Sonic Advance Trilogy Research Discord. Again, if you have experience matching assembly functions, they're looking. Jason and Ollie are looking for all the help they can get. They're more than happy to bring you on board with these projects, and I look forward to playing more of it. So thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. But I am gonna stall for 10 seconds because we're almost at a nice, beautiful 40 minutes, but I gotta go to 40:01 so that it appears as 40 on YouTube, and